there. I am Jenny Alexander, owner of Ugly Cloths and Company, a storefront down in the West Bottoms of Kansas City. And we like to make things around here. So today we're going to take this silver tray. I didn't paint the back yet, so I have coated it with a couple of coats, really sloppy coats of Tarnished Pearl by DIY Paints. And I have some Royce cycled tissue paper here. I believe this is Royce cycled. My apologies if it's not. But it is tissue paper, thin. You can see through it. This one's got a peacock, got a little Paris theme going on it. And I have cut it out of a bigger sheet. This was it. It was here. And what I do to cut it out, I don't use scissors. I use a little bit of water and a little paintbrush. And I go around where I want it. I laid it out and then I got it the edge wet. And then I was able to pull it away. So instead of having a hard edge, you end up with a frayed edge, which is going to be easier to blend in. This one is going to be pretty darn easy to blend in, and I probably didn't need to worry about it so much because I'm going to come back in and I'm going to paint this black. But wherever you're doing your decoupage, you need to have a light color, or the color is going to since this is translucent, the color is going to come through your decoupage project. So a lighter color back here is going to give you a brighter image here. A darker color is going to give you a darker image. So keep that in mind when you do this. And I'm going to do this in sections. We have a squeegee. This squeegee has the regular squeegee side, and then it has a felt side too. If you get Mod Podge on this, go wash it out because you want to keep that nice and soft because it's useful in a lot of projects. Mod Podge and some saran wrap. So we're going to take our Mod Podge and we're going to make sure we have our image where we want it and then fold it back a little. We're just going to do a little bit at a time. You have some time to work with Mod Podge, but it will start to dry on you. And once it starts drying, it doesn't want to adhere. There are ways to iron on your decoupage after your Mod Podge dries on you, but it only works on flat surfaces, since your iron is flat. So it wouldn't have worked very well to get on these lips, but it is a really good technique if you're doing like cabinet doors and stuff. And you can mist your Mod Podge if it's starting to dry up on you before you got your piece laid down. You can mist your paper too, but be very careful because tissue paper rips easy. Make sure you work from the center out. That way you're getting any air bubbles out. The saran wrap is super handy. You see the Mod Podge is coming through the paper. It's getting on my saran wrap. But I'll keep using the same piece until I'm done. Like I said, I wasn't super worried about the edge over there. I just want to make sure that it's adhered really good, because I am going to be putting black on here. But you can also blend in by matching some of these colors and putting some colors on there and blending. If your paper wrinkles, sometimes it will flatten back out, but sometimes you'll still see a texture. And if there's a texture behind the image, it will more than likely come through. I did a really sloppy job painting this, so I can see that in my image, but I wasn't wanting perfection. It was a nice random texture. Well, then we're just going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I can show you how I cut out the paper. I have another one over here that I was going to do with the rest of this. There's this bird cage. This one will be a little harder to cut out because it has a different shape. The other one was a nice oval, but this is a different shape, so we might go a little more careful with it. Put a little bird cage off-centered there. So we'll get it's got a little bit of water in it and a little paintbrush. And we're just gonna go do our best to trace this without moving the paper a lot. It's not going to be perfect. You really got to let go of perfection, I think, when you're doing this kind of stuff, because I think it'll just frustrate you and make you feel like you can't do it when it's hard to do. So let's just let go of that and do the best we can. All right, we can tear it now and see what we got. Save your little bits and pieces for smaller projects. I have another bowl over here that I'll probably do like the peacock feathers in. That'd be fun. And make sure you're not using a whole bunch of water. Just a little water on your paintbrush will go a long ways. If you put too much water on, then this is going to get too wet, and then when you go to rip it, it's going to rip probably more than what you wanted it to. All right, well, that's not too bad. That turned out pretty good. What do you think? Now I can decoupage this too. I don't have any saran wrap. I threw away the other one because it got a bunch of Mod Podge on it. So we're gonna just do it without it, just in case you don't have any. And for the most part, if you smooth it back out with your brush, you'll be fine. Work in small sections, and again, start from the center and work your way out. You should be and I am sealing the paint here only because if I decide I want to distress my black, I want some of the white to show through. All right, well, there you go. Peacock's still drying. But I think that's going to be really cool when it's all done. And that's what I was able to do with the other section of the paper. And I still have paper left to do something small, like this little silver tray. One sheet of paper goes a long way. I do not sell this. The paper's available online, but I do sell the DIY paint. You can get Mod Podge here. And we do have other decoupage papers. We sell rice papers, which is more fibrous, kind of the same thing, but a little thicker, a little more durable, a little more flexible, and it's more like a cloth than a paper, but we have those available. So there you go. Have fun making, guys. Go make something pretty, please.